Ready and racing.
Welcome to the Dogcast for Greyhound Racing SA. Visit grsa.com.au.
Hello and welcome to the latest edition of the Dogcast, brought to you by Greyhound Racing SA. I'm your host, Lachlan, Stace. Great to have your company. We have a massive show coming up as we really kick off 2025 with our first feature final of the year, the listed SA Sprint Championship. A lot coming up on this episode, though. We're going to have a look at the Murray Bridge Family Fun in the Sun night on Sunday night. We're running of the Sprint Classic. And also, you're going to give us a bit of a rundown of your new segment. We're going to be black booking a few dogs on behalf of yourself. You've picked out a few dogs to have a look at here in South Australia who you think are worth following at the moment. And we're going to have a look at Thursday night and preview the action of those John Gray Heats and, of course, the listed SA Sprint Championship. A massive edition of the Dogcast coming up. Stay right here. A lot more coming up after the break.
Enjoy some family fun in the sun of the Greyhounds this summer. Get trackside for fun-filled nights with free kids entertainment, including bouncy castles and face painting. And there's something the whole family can enjoy, like live music, food trucks, bars, and of course, the thrill of Greyhound racing. Head to Murray Bridge Sunday, January 12, Angle Park Thursday, January 23rd, and Gawler Sunday, January 26th. General admission is free. For more information, visit greyhoundracingsa.com.
The Week in Review.
Yes, the Week in Review brought to you by Fresh Pet Food Co. Proud suppliers of fresh pet food for our GAP SA Greyhounds and the GAP prison programs that are based right here in South Australia. Visit their website, freshpetfoodco.com.au for more info. Todd, massive night at Murray Bridge Sunday night with the family fun in the sun, Megan. We saw Long Haul take out the Murray Bridge Sprint Classic, and he did it in style as well. He's been a great greyhound, especially up at Murray Bridge. He's always a Murray Bridge track specialist, and he bowed out in style because we've learnt during the week that he's retiring.
Isn't it a great story? That's fantastic. Hopefully it just doesn't go a bit like a Johnny Farnham and that, because amazing. You got to retire, and he just ran a PB, but go out on top for mine. I think it was brilliant. I got to be honest with you, I didn't like Long Haul in the final. I was worried it would get kind of swallowed up with all the early speed, and he shut me up, and I don't mind being wrong when there's a beautiful story like that. Straight to the front, and you knew he was going to run wide, but nothing around him, no traffic. Flew early. It was just a fantastic story, just a real good feel-good story. If you don't feel good about that, I don't know what's wrong with you.
100%, 22.04 the time, and I was a bit like you. I thought Long Haul, watching him race up at Murray Bridge, I've always been of the opinion that he's probably more suited to the 455 up there. He runs his best races up there. He was going to be, he usually doesn't run, well, a lot of greyhounds in South Australia, they don't usually run against full fields. He had a dog to either side, but he handled it really well. The way he began was exceptional as well. 4.93 that first split. If you're running time like that as a short course greyhound at Murray Bridge, that makes things very tricky for the other greyhounds to catch, especially when they're going around that first turn. So Long Haul, very impressive, and it was good to see a good crowd up there at Murray Bridge, and it all really leads into the Cup as well coming up there in March. It's always a great night at Murray Bridge, so make sure if you see any big events coming up at the Murray Bridge Dog Club to head up there for what is always a great experience. And talking about great experiences, Todd, we saw the Woodville Baseball Club on course on Thursday night at Angle Park, and this is a fundraiser, the Cash Up Your Club fundraiser, where they get to get behind a dog of one of Lauren Harris's or Ryan Tugwell's, one of their better chances throughout the night, and that greyhound won, and they won $2,500.
You go a long way on a bus for $2,500 these days. It is good, and we got a few coming up as well over the next month and that. So it's good, and it's good for Lauren and Ryan as well, because they are generally good speakers and the future of this industry. They really are. So yeah, it's always good to see these good feel good stories.
Yeah, great kennel. Lauren Harris and Ryan Tugwell, they do a fantastic job. And Eldritch was that winning greyhound taking out race 2, and there was a massive applause as well upstairs Thursday night, and it's definitely great to see some of the local sporting clubs coming around Angle Park on Thursday nights and grabbing a great feed, having a good time. And one thing I'm also noticing as well, Todd, they're staying quite late, so they're enjoying their night. Yeah. They're not just staying till race 7 or race 8 or something. You see them hanging around till race 9, 10, 11, and sometimes 12. So it's really good to see these these people come to the Greyhounds and have such a great night as well. And I think it's a great initiative by Greyhound Racing SA to give out some race names as well. It's like a different race names on a Thursday night, which is good to see.
You can get some wild ones where you wish you know the backstories, but it's probably best you don't.
Yeah, well, I think the last race on Thursday night was called the Stinko McCormack Stakes.
Exactly. That's exactly. I don't know how old McCormack got that nickname, but it's probably best we don't. I don't know, we're a PG show.
I think every time I said it over the mic as well, someone echoed it. So yeah, we're having a good laugh about the Woodville Baseball Club. So great to see them on course Thursday night, and always good to see intriguing race names like that to really make it entertaining. And Todd, we're going to dive into your new segment now, the Black Bookers segment, where we share it on our website, and you can maybe try and steer us into one or two winners on a Thursday night with some of the dogs that you can follow and some of the dogs to really hammer down on over the next month or so.
Yeah, I like this little idea. It's always good to have a little black booker in the back of the pocket, and we did start off on a good note, so I'll give myself a little pat on the back. I know I probably shouldn't, but I'm gonna. The first one was a Kimmy Johnson dog, Bun Volcano. Made him the little black booker after a very nice second at Gawler, where a very good first split, and he came out next start and won it around about the $6 mark as well, so that was a good start. I still reckon there's another race out there for that dog, especially from the inside draw at Gawler. And the latest one I got, also a Gawler dog, was the Lauren Harris. Speaking of Lauren, Daintree Shady. Now, this dog ran a very brave second at Gawler. Went straight to the front. I think it went in the 860s to the first split, which will lead you in most races. He did look, he was foreign to the track. You could tell on the home turn he looked like a dog which was a bit lost and all that. I'll take dollars to donuts. He probably hadn't trialled at the track or anything. Still a very gallant in defeat, getting beaten by Impulsive Miss. And I just will improve a stack off that run. Now he's seeing the track and kind of knows where the corner is and all that coming up. Especially if he pops up at Murray Bridge, absolutely, you would have seen that track. It's Lauren and Ryan's kind of, that's their home track. So Daintree Shady's kind of one I'm keeping an eye out from. If it pops up at Gawler, I expect a big improvement. Pops up at Murray Bridge, I'd be very confident. And one I reckon can run a little bit of a race on Thursday night. I kind of had 1.5 little black bookers. The main one is in race 10. It's a grade 6, but I really like the way this Turvey Bale's been going. Now, Scott Burns, I believe, is the trainer. Now, I've got to tell you something. I don't know too much about Scott Burns, but I reckon this dog's going great, especially for a grade 6. He's 500-metre runs at Gawler where he ran low 31s. That's more than competitive. And last start, a very brave second, running 30.85. 30.80 wins you a grade 6, surely. Not the easiest race, with Trivia drawing the red, which will probably lead. Bookerloo's a bit of the unknown quantity for Cameron Butcher. But it's got a couple of wide runners drawn next to it, and Sir Patrick and Ricky's Burner. They might be able to keep dogs out like Captain Reader and Kilkerran. And I reckon it'll hit the line just as well as anything, if not the best in that race. So I'm expecting a bit of a brave run from Turvey Bale on Thursday night. That's going to be my little black booker with a little bit of an unknown in race 1 with a couple of new dogs to the veterans or invitational races. Multi-Mat and Yarramundi Paul. Yarramundi Paul, we all know the dog quite well. I think he'll thrive in invitationals. But Multi-Mat, I helped Adrian in the trial we had here at Angle Park, and I know he brought him over to kind of, be very competitive in these veteran races and all that as well. Kind of be the next Doonan, as we know Doonan for Ben Rawlings has clocked up a heap of invitational wins and all that too. He broke 31. I think he went in the 30-80s as well, which will be win you plenty of invitationals. So Bun Volcano and Daintree Shady are the other two for the other tracks. And for Angle Park Thursday, I think Turvey Bale can run a very cheeky race. Not expecting anything ridiculous. I'd like each way odds with 2 divs in that race. And yeah, I'm gonna be Multi-Mat in race 1 if I have to. I reckon he'll definitely pay his way over here in South Australia.
100%. He's had a bit of experience in South Australia before as well, if memory serves me correctly, a few years back. But that's the Black Bookers segment for this week. Up next, we have the preview, a massive Thursday night of Greyhound racing action. So don't go anywhere. That's coming up next, right here on the Dogcast.
Enjoy some family fun in the sun of the Greyhounds this summer. Get trackside for fun-filled nights with free kids entertainment, including bouncy castles and face painting. And there's something the whole family can enjoy, like live music, food trucks, bars, and of course, the thrill of Greyhound racing. Head to Murray Bridge Sunday, January 12, Angle Park Thursday, January 23rd, and Gawler Sunday, January 26th. General admission is free. For more information, visit greyhoundracingsa.com.
The preview.
Yes, welcome back to the Dogcast. The preview is brought to you by the Family Fun in the Sun. It's back for 2025 across all of our tracks this Sunday, the 19th of January at Mount Gambier during the day. Thursday, the 23rd at Angle Park during a night meeting, and Sunday the 26th at Gawler on Australia Day. Join us trackside for a huge night of family fun featuring live music, food trucks, kids entertainment, including bouncy castles, face painting, and of course the thrill of live greyhound racing. It's free entry, so get down to our Family Fun in the Sun events all summer long throughout January, and it's going to be a massive night of racing this upcoming Thursday night, but also the week after on Thursday the 23rd, Todd, because we have the family fun in the sun, but we also have the final of the John Gray. We see heaps of that this Thursday night, along with the SA Sprint Championship final, and of course the final the week after on Thursday, the 23rd of January. But let's have a look at the heats of the John Gray series. Healthy numbers as normal. We kick off with heat number 1 of that series, which is race number 2 on the program at 6:57 SA time. Some of the main chances here, of course, Mally Beauty, who's been racing well for Damien Smith. Ethanol Extra will put in a handy race off the inside draw along with Fantastic Ada, and a bit of an unknown one here. He's got swag for Ronald Kenworthy coming from Interstate.
Yeah, it's always nice to see the amount of support that John Gray gets every year. So on behalf of myself and my whole family, thanks everyone for supporting it. Again, 2 legs and 4. It means the world to my family, but I won't ramble on. I'll probably do enough of that on the final night. Look, Ethanol Extra and Mally Beauty, they're going to dominate the markets for mine. Mally Beauty's a dog I'm a bit hot and cold on. I can't get it right. I can't get that dog right. I think I might be the jinx for the dog. Every time I think it's a good thing, misses the kick. Every time I think it's beatable, it goes straight to the front. Ethanol Water's the drawn dog because Fantastic Ada should jump well, stay wide, give it a lovely cart through on the first turn. And yeah, the anomalies in the racer, he's got swag. And Langley Flyer as well for Lauren Harris.
Yeah, it's a tricky race. I think there's plenty of chances to kick off. I did go Mally Beauty on top, number 7 for Damien Smith. I think based on class, she doesn't mind a wide draw. She should be hard to beat if she begins well, but she can be a bit hot and cold at times, and I think Ethanol Extra will be riding a mix. My second pick, number 1 from the inside draw. My third pick for 3, he's got swag, and my fourth pick for 2, Fantastic Ada. So my numbers are 7, 1, 3, and 2 in Heat 1.
Yes, and my numbers will be 1, 7, 3, and 4.
Heat number 2 of John Gray, race number 3 on the program at 7:19 p.m. Intriguing race. Bewitch, number 4, going for 4 wins in a row for Lauren Harris. Makes an intriguing field, an even field. He's Magic, drawn to Bewitch's outside for Barry Stewart, drawn box 6. Has won 2 from its last 3 starts. Of course, you've also got greyhounds like Mike Khaleesi drawing 7 for Ben Rawlings, and Dark Moonshine off the inside draw from box 1 for trainer Marty Doyle. He's had his kennel flying at the moment. And a bit of an unknown again, Mr. President drawing out wide, number 8 for Ronald Kenworthy.
Look, I'm going to bracket the 3, 4, and the 6, and I think that's how the market will find it. Bewitch will probably be your favourite narrowly over He's Magic. I'm a little bit worried about He's Magic and Bewitch being drawn. Well, not alongside each other, obviously, with the vacant box in 5, but He's Magic will be desperate for the inside, and I reckon might give Leon on Bewitch a little bit. And I think Rev Leon will probably end up being the value runner. So I'm going, in that race, I'm going 3, 4, 6, and 7.
Yeah, I do agree that Rev Leon will be right in this. I did lob Rev Leon in for second. I think a lot of Kim Johnston's dogs at the moment are just mongrels of consistency, and she has a kennel full of just really nice, consistent greyhounds. But I've gone away with number 6, He's Magic on top. I think he finds his race on Thursday night to beat home for 3, Rev Leon. My third pick for 4, Bewitch. And I lobbed in number 1, Dark Moonshine, in for 4th. So my numbers in Heat 2 of the John Gray series, I go 6, 3, 4, and 1. Heat number 3, race number 4 at 7:40. Another intriguing race. Kenya Striker, number 3, one of the main players for Tim Richards, who's won 3 from his last 4 starts. But then you also have to include Lone Rooster for Ben Rawlings, who's been racing a bit up and down, but at the same time, on ability, could easily take out this race. Hot Lips, number 6 for Nicole Price, an impressive last start winner. And then Urif Bale off the inside for Sean Fullerton, and Senna Wick drawn 2 for Lauren Harris. So, once again, multiple chances heading into the third heat of a John Gray.
Yes, this heat will turn on its head after about 10 metres here, depending on how Hot Lips jumps. Very hit or miss at box rise, but easily the best dog in the race if it pings. It's going to be my on-top selection. I think the vacant box next to it helps. Hartley Bale's not the best beginner in the world, so it's going to have that early room to move. I've got to put Lone Rooster in for second. He's been set for this, obviously, being held back a little bit. And I know the Rawlings Kennel, they've went for the John Gray every year as well, and they support it heavily too. So Lone Rooster in for second. Kenya Strike will be hitting the line very well. I know it hasn't raced for a little bit, but strength won't be an issue. We've seen what it can do over the middle distance. And it's a blanket for 4th. I'm going to put Hartley Bale because at least it hits the line okay.
Yeah, I've gone away with number 4, Lone Rooster on top. I think he'll be vying to go on Thursday night in this heat, and I think with his PB of 30 and 65, he'll be ultra competitive, and he knows how to take out and perform on the big stage. So I've gone number 4, Lone Rooster, to beat home the 3, Kenya Striker. As you mentioned, Todd, he's got plenty of fitness on his side, despite not racing for a little bit. My third pick was 6, Hot Lips. Very hit or miss, this dog. And my fourth pick, we'll throw in number 1, Urif Bale off the inside draw. But my numbers here for the third heat of the John Gray. I go 4, 3, 6 and 1, and we look ahead now to heat number 4, race 5 at 7:58 p.m. on Thursday night. Once again, a good field. Zinfandel Party number 7 for Shirley Barber. Obviously a very competitive PB of 30 and 35. Drawn towards the outside. Also, you've got greyhounds like Versatile, drawn box 4 for Ben Rawlings. Silk Sonic drawing the inside for Tim Richards, and also Oregon Favours for Nathan Goodenough, who's been racing well over the short and over the 5:30 here at Angle Park.
Yeah, look, I think Zinfandel Party's probably the favourite to win the whole thing if there was an all-in market at the moment. The Barber's got this dog flying, and the wide draw isn't too bad for it. As long as it just beats Scary Eyes out, I think he gets an ideal run to the first turn with terrific Izzy cutting in and Versatile, etc. In for second will be Oregon Favours. I think penny's finally dropped with this dog, especially at box rides. I know this dog well from the coursing days. Used to carry on a bit like a pork chop out there, but he's really he's narrowed his box manners down, and we saw what he can do when he went 90 and 30 over the 342's last start. I think that's going to be your early leader as well, along with Versatile, which will be my third selection. And in for fourth, a good one for your multiples here. I think 1-2 me for Brenda Oakey. I remember it got up in a heat of a feature at about 50 to 1, going back a few starts ago. That's when it got that 30-67. It's a little bit of a hard dog to follow, but I reckon I'll definitely be putting it in. Should be big odds just for your multiples. So my numbers will be 7, 3, 4, and 2.
I've gone number 7, Zinfandel Party on top. I think on her best run, she easily wins this, and she can put in a bit of a tricky run every now and then. We saw that a few weeks ago, back on the 26th of December in a Case Scandal Christmas Sprint, where she was up against tough competition, but she did finish down the track on that occasion and didn't begin the best. And she can usually begin a lot better than what she did on that occasion. And her recent runs over the 595 and 530 at Angle Park from close to the rail draws have been good. In saying that, though, she can win from out wide as well. Obviously, a great record from box 8, 6 starts from box 8 for 3 wins. A box 7 record, only got 2 starts for 1 placing. So not much to gauge off there. But I think against this field, over the 530, the way she's been racing recently, she will be hard to beat. But there's always that little bit of concern with her if she's going to bring in that tricky run that she can sometimes provide. So number 7, Zinfandel Party, to beat home the 3 Oregon Favours, who will definitely have the early speed in a race and should be vying after that really impressive short course win last start over the 342, as you mentioned, Todd. My third pick, the 4, Versatile, and my fourth pick, the 6, Terrific Izzy. 7, 3, 4 and 6 in heat number 4 of the John Gray. The fifth and final heat, race number 6, is at 8:19, and we've got another field of 7 here to go around over the 5:30, of course. Some of the main players here are Fire, number 7 for Craig Yench, going for 3 wins in a row, a competitive PB of 30 and 27 as well. That was set a little while back, but at the same time, should be really in a race like this. Aussie Brad drawing out wide, number 8 for Brenda Oakey, as well as being racing in some good form. Dakota Shying off the inside draw, number 1 for Colin Symes, and then Bomb Roberta, number 4 for Darren Camporelli as well, a bit of an unknown, drawing the centre box. So an intriguing race here again, Todd, with a good mix of some greyhounds in some really good form, and then you also got a bit of a ex-New South Wales greyhound in Bomb Roberta, and then you also have to take in consideration like greyhounds like Minter Redeem as well, number 3, who deserves a mention. Yeah,
the pace is going to be good here. A Fire, I can see why it's been going around in the veteran and invitational races. I reckon didn't want to chew up the grade 5, so it could be set for the John Gray. It's going to be short, and no Woods Bravery. It's going to be my on-top selection. I think Craig's placed this dog really well, but a little bit of a worry to the first turn. Kisses for Amy jumps well and stays in the centre of the track, and I never thought I'd say this, but Aussie Brad, it's really improved its manners. I never thought it would be competitive over 400 here when it was racing over to 6 and 7, but it could lean a little bit on a Fire here, and I think run a very brave race. So a Fire's on top for me, Aussie Brad in for second. The ever-reliable Dakota Shine in for third, drawn beautifully, and it will just run you a very honest race. And in for fourth, I'm going to put Kisses for Amy, because it will be on pace throughout. So 7, 8, 1, and 6 for me, please.
Yeah, I think this is another pretty tricky heat to wrap up these heats of the John Gray series. A few times didn't know where to look here, but I've gone the way of number 7, A Fire. I think he'll like it out wide. He should be able to carve down from the inside draw, show off that early speed, and he'll get down to the rail and be hard to run down. So I've gone number 7, A Fire on top here to beat home number 8, Aussie Brad. Ahead of the 1, Dakota Shine, and my fourth pick, the 3, Minter Redeem. 7, 8, 1, 3, my numbers in the fifth and final heat of the John Gray. A terrific series, Todd, and as you mentioned, you must be very proud to share the same last name along with this series because it's just such a great series each year, and honours a great man in John Gray, who was a massive part of the early days of our industry here in South Australia. Now we turn our attention to the 2025 listed SA Sprint Championship Final. A great bumper field for this. A big thank you to our friends at Tab for putting up the early market for this feature. And as of 11:40 Tuesday morning, this is how the market stands. Number 1, Auntie Mika, Tamika Dung at $13. Number 2, Cabello Opal for Kim Johnston at $4.40. Number 3, Zinfandel Trace for Gavin Harris at $10. Number 4, Hunker Down for Don Gordon at $26. Number 5, Fantastic Spike for Liz Chegia at $6.50. Number 6, Peaky Boo, Ben Rawlings at $2.60. Number 7, Fear the Dragon, Ben Rawlings at $4.40. And number 8, Pet Detective, Ben Rawlings at $7.50. The 2 reserves, number 9, Scary Eyes, Cameron Forshaw, $34. And number 10, Yarramundi Paul, Reagan Rolls at $71. That's the SA Sprint Championship final market. Thank you to our friends at tab.com.au. Now let's have a look at this preview, Todd. Obviously a very big field, plenty of winning chances. Who did you end up going?
Oh, look, I might end up looking a little bit silly here, and I'm happy to eat crow and, if I'm wrong, but I'm worried about Peaky Boo getting across. Now, I know I'm saying I'm worried about a dog that went 30-11 last night and is flying, but this race to the first turn really intrigues me. I think Zinfandel Trace is great value at double figures, especially, look, I'd rather be on Trace the place. We can trademark that if we need to, rather than Peaky Boo the win. So Zinfandel Trace, we know we've waxed lyrical about just how good this dog can be, and still young as well. There's not a heap of early speed. Hunker Down will probably be your leader to the first turn, and Don Gordon's got that dog going well. Watch out for it when it gets out of this series back to a more winnable race. But I think Zinfandel Trace can be in front of dogs like Peaky Boo, Fear the Dragon, and all that to the first turn, and we know how strong she can be. The inside division is what I like here. So Zinfandel Trace is going to be my on-top selection from Cabello Opal, which was a great run last week. I really was shocked coming into the home turn that it ran down Fear the Dragon. I thought Fear the Dragon was home and hosed. Real brave effort. Inside draw is just a plus as well, and it should get a lovely rail sit behind Auntie Mika, who should be jumping relatively well. In for third, Fear the Dragon. I think this is the best of the rulings runners for mine. Likes the wide draws. Yes, a little bit... I don't want to use the word disappointing last week. They still went 30-50. But he was... I thought he was going to win last week, but he still ran a fine race. He should be better for it now, staying out wide too. And running out the first 4, I'm going to put Pet Detective in. I mean, we know what it can do, winning the Gawler Cup from a wide draw and that as well. We'll be on speed throughout. If you're going to look silly, you might as well look real silly. I'm leaving Peaky Boo off the ticket, and I'm leaving another dog I adore here in Fantastic Spike off. He's the anomaly in the race as well, being second up now from a little spell. We know how good he was. He was just winning the free-for-alls for fun not that long ago, but you can't tip them all, and this race is really intriguing. So, again, put my hand up if Peaky Boo goes straight to the front or gets the cash. Yep, happy to say I was wrong there, but I'm going Mr. Stace, 3, 2, 7, and 8 in a race, which, honestly, if I had any hair, I would have pulled it out trying to do the form for this. It's really good.
Yeah, it is tricky. I do understand where you're coming from there, Todd, but I have gone away with number 6, Peaky Boo on top. Going for 4 wins in a row, I think he's just hit his best form again. He's a big-time performer. We saw him take out the Case Scandal Christmas Sprint. I don't want to say similar competition, but a pretty similar field. So I've gone away with number 6, Peaky Boo. That PB of 30-11, I think if he can just produce that sort of run, he's a quality performer. He'll be very hard to beat. Ahead of a 7, Fear the Dragon. I think he'll be bouncing back this week as well from the wide draw. Also for the Rawlings Kennel. My third pick, the 3, Zinfandel Trace. I do agree. I think she can play a massive hand in this event. And my 4th pick, the 5, Fantastic Spike. 6, 7, 3, 5. My numbers for the listed SA Sprint Championship final, worth $22,000. Race 8 on the program at 9:01 on Thursday night at Angle Park. Best bet to the program, Tog. A big 12 event card over, I think, all distances from what I can see. I think it's 5:30, 5:95 and 3:42. But a busy night of racing. Who'd you like?
I'm going to go all the way to race 10 again. I'm going to stick with Turvey Bale. I really think this dog finally cracks its grade 6. I'm not expecting anything great price-wise. It won't be favourite for mine, but I'm hoping black figures a drum. We got 2 divs. So race 10, number 3, Turvey Bale each way. I still got to stick with Zinfandel Trace as well at double figures, but place heavy or place only for those who want to play it safe there. And I think it's just really good value, especially at I think it's about 250 or 60 for the drum. So Zinfandel Trace on a place heavy or each way basis. And as for just other best bets, I do think Rev Leon in race 3 can run a bit of a cheeky race. And again, I don't know what it'll be. I know there'll be a lot of percentage in the 4 and the 6 there when it comes to the betting. So, yeah, I'm going to go 3 little each-way plays there. So, race 3, number 3, Rev Leon. Race 8, number 3, Zinfandel Trace. And race 10, another number 3, Turvey Bale.
My best bets for the program, Todd. I go race 1, number 4, Doonan in the opening event for the Masters, I think, from box 4 against that sort of field. I think he just finds a winnable race for him on Thursday night from that draw. So I've gone race 1, number 4, Doonan for the Rawlings camp. And then later on, we turn our attention to the short course races. Race 11, number 1, Bundaberg Gum. I think this Greyhound is a nice young up-and-comer for the Roz Kennel. 9 career starts for 4 wins, 5 placings. Gets the inside draw back at Angle Park where he has a strong PB as well of 1946. There are some nice dogs in the race as well. Dogs like Wicket and Lauren's Regret, who have been running around the mark, and Long Gully Kate, King Fearless. They're all greyhounds who can run some decent time. So I think you will get a nice price about Bundaberg Gum, number 1, off the inside draw, race 11, number 1. So repeating my 2 specials, race 1, number 4, Doonan, and race 11, number 1, Bundaberg Gum. Todd, it's been a pleasure as usual, mate. Great to have you on, and obviously a big night coming up Thursday night.
Yes, thanks very much for having me. And again, thanks everyone for supporting the John Gray again for another year. It really means a lot to us.
And thank you for tuning into the Dogcast for this edition. We'll catch you next time. Make sure you catch all the action on Thursday night at Angle Park. Get trackside, and of course, a lot of action coming up with the family fun and the Sun meetings. We've still got 3 to go at Mount Gambier, Angle Park, and Gawler. For more information on those, head to greyhoundracingsa.com.au. But for now, thank you for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time right here on the Dogcast.